Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, Sunday edition. I'm your host, Sam Wu, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location, beautiful New Jersey. From the mountain view of the Garden State, across continent, to the Michael J. Fox studios in Beverly Hills, California. It's Beer Baron and Scotty of Sirius XM Liquid Metal. Streaming all over the place right now.
Live. Super live. Not just live, it's extremely live. Football weekend, boys. Football weekend. We have to acknowledge that it is the playoffs. And my condolences to the Bills. What you sometimes, and the reason why I'm talking about this, and the reason why I wanted to lead into this, is the officiating in the NHL sometimes can be super suspect, and we'll watch a game and we'll be like, damn, dude, like that, a missed call there, egregious there. But for the most part, I could say that most NHL games aren't decided by a referee in the final moments. Sometimes there it is. Sometimes there is. And it's happened. But not like that game in Buffalo. That was something else. That was like something I've never seen before. I mean, I've seen it before. It's the NFL. It happens all the time. But it just sucks when you have a team and it's like, you know what? It boils down to the officiating basically determining a game or the outcome of a game, especially in the playoffs. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. But anyways,
I love when you say something like that, like you've never seen it before, and I can immediately think of an example
of like 100 things.
Yeah.
No, I've seen it before a lot. I've seen it a lot. I know. I always say that, and I instantly go, "No, moron! Like it happens all the time. It's the NFL. It will happen again. Probably going to happen again tonight in this game." And
does the name Steve Bernier ring a bell to you?
Oh God, yep, yeah. You know what? You got to. That's a great NHL one. Well,
it's rigged. I've been saying it all
along.
Was that in the playoffs? I can't remember. Was that a playoff
New Year's
game?
Eve. Oh, that playoffs.
Was that a playoff
that
game?
Playoffs.
I can't recall. Did that happen during the playoffs?
Stanley Cup Finals.
Did that result in a
was it?
major?
Oh, really?
In L.A. too. In L.A.
In
Game
LA.
6.
And it was it the turning point of that game? Possibly. Did Steven Giante get
the turning
boarded?
point of the series to go to elimination, which NFL games are like that? So I gave you an example, even in an elimination game, my friend. How about that?
Yeah, that's a good example. Well, you know what? I'm not saying that they're infallible because they're horrible too. So what do you want from me? You know what? The one thing that really still gets me about that game is even after that call, Steven Giante gets boarded in an extremely similar way without a call.
I
think that would.
Oh Lord, I shouldn't have opened up this Pandora's box because I know where this is going now.
And I keep on saying the icing that was never called. Had they just blown the whistle, that hit would have never happened.
I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to do it.
Totally rigged.
Yeah.
We're
fine.
We're
fine.
For the last 15 years now.
Somebody made money.
My Steve Bernier jersey still flying in the wind. I would never own a Steve Bernier jersey. Who am I kidding? I still have that. You know, I have that Kovalchuk jersey just sitting in my closet, and every once in a while, I'll like open up my closet and I'll look at it, and I'll be like, and I'll close my closet back.
Mine's right here. It hangs in the background here because I'm never gonna wear it.
The Covey. I
have the old Heritage jersey with Kovalchuk.
I know. I opted for the Eliash because I'm a true OG like that. I like that was my favorite player. Eliash was definitely my favorite player.
I think I have a
still is.
I can't remember what year.
That sweet.
Oh no, a Riche
jersey.
No, I have a real Eliash though, not like I think it was a Reebok.
Not the Models.
No, yeah, exactly. No, it wasn't a replica jersey. I think it was a Reebok year, if I'm not mistaken. It was like my Elias jersey was the first year that, remember when they did that redesign where they wanted to make the jerseys a little bit more aerodynamic and fitted for the players.
And for fans, for most fans, like back then I was skinny, so it didn't matter to me. But if I try to throw on one of those old jerseys I have now, fat guy problems. Like just doesn't. The logo peeks out over the top. You're like, oh damn, what the hell? You know what? I actually have. I don't know if anybody. See, I'm old enough to remember this, and you are too. I have a jersey. It's the first jersey I ever got personalized with my name on the back. And the logo, the NHL was doing this thing where they would release like the replica jerseys, but they would make the logo like almost a quarter size smaller, almost half the size of an actual logo.
I remember
so it's a lot
those.
smaller.
I have some of those.
Oh, most obscure
Hey,
Devils jersey
Wimpy.
you have seen. Oh God, I have a Brian Ralston number 12. I have a Brian Ralston number 12 jersey. That is the most obscure one that I have. And the most obscure one I ever seen, I don't know. I've seen a lot. I've seen a Corn jersey a lot. I've seen Corey Schwab. I've seen that jersey walking around around a rock. There's always you could always find at least one weird one.
Yeah, I think the last time I was there last season, I texted you guys. I found someone with an Eric Jelena jersey.
That's a good one.
In the concourse. Yeah, I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
I would actually go and shake that.
Alex
person's hand.
Erbaum and Seth Helgeson standing right next to him.
What was that enforcer's name? Began with an O. My brain is not functioning from shoveling snow all day. Come on, who's that? Christoph Oliva. Oliva. My buddy had an Oliva jersey. I always thought that was great. I was like, yeah, he was great for punching people for 5 minutes. That was good.
My random, I have a Stephon Richer jersey. Everything else though is pretty normal. Eliash. I have a Jack. I have two Nikos.
Yeah.
I have the Kovalchuk behind me. Mm-hmm. I have my Marty one, but I have that one framed.
That's a smart.
So I don't really.
Did you get it signed?
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have. You know what? I don't have a Stevens jersey. I should look for one of those like Stevens and I know they had the Niedermeyer like Stanley Cup one, like Mitchell and Ness thing, like on sale for a little while. But when I looked, it was like the only size left was like a quadruple extra large, and I was like, I see why this is only $119 and not $200. Okay.
Well, that's like during right before the holidays. My wife is like, "What do you want? What do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, "The one thing I really want is the Team USA jersey, either with my name on it or Brady Tkachuk, one of the two." And they were, you couldn't even like. I went on the site the day they announced like, "Oh, the jerseys are out. You can go and buy them on the site." With that, I think it was like December 2nd or something like that. Go on the site and there's nothing left. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, this is like Team USA. Don't you think you would restock this? That's like the green jersey. My favorite, the retro reverse jersey might be my favorite jersey that the Devils have ever put out. I love the old school when they do the green and red. I love when they do that. But that retro reverse green jersey, I wish that would be their third because that thing is so goddamn slick.
It was a 1-year deal, unfortunately. That was Adidas.
I know
that like year or two that are that they did the jerseys. They did a good job with it. But the Rams just scored. God. Connor Williams just scored. Okay,
17-10.
I don't know. They're showing the replay over here in the snow.
I watched that debacle of a game this afternoon. That was rough.
About to be it's 17-10. Well, the Devils have had some rough games and some good games though as well. In recent times. Yesterday, I think they got their usual wake-up call against the Carolina Hurricanes. You think you're playing well against them. I know we talked about it in Devils After Dark. The Canes didn't have a shot in the first 12 minutes of the game. And you're like, all right. But this is what the Canes do. They just sit there, wait, bide their time, and they just kind of bait you in. Just reeling them on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah, you got us. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then all of a sudden, they hook you. And then they turn 2 goals, into 30 seconds into 2 goals. And they got 2 on the board with 8 shots on net. halfway through the second. And then all of a sudden, they turn it on, and then I think they had somewhere around like 14 or 15 shots total in the second period, and then like another 13 in the third. So they just basically just sat there and basically took all the Devils' jabs, dodged their big punches, and then all of a sudden, when they saw their openings, pop, pop, just here's a combination.
That's
here
the problem is that
here comes the big left
they're
hook.
they're able to capitalize where we can't. We have games where we put up 44 shots and we lose 9-0. It's to me, it's like the kryptonite that is this team right now is inconsistency, or consistency is the kryptonite, right? So it's like we had those two games and it looked all right. Nico had that amazing overtime winner, and it was like, okay, all right. The vibe check, everybody feels good. The team feels good. You go on social media, everybody's like walking back away from the ledge. And then here comes Carolina to do what Carolina's done to us, which, by the way, goes back quite some time. I think we're 7-22 over the last 29 games against them.
Something ridiculous like that, yeah.
It's something.
But also,
like
it was the way that they struck as well. This was a good point by the man of the hour, the Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, Sam by God Woo, that after that second goal, they, like, the whole place, just all the air got sucked out of it. Like, you felt it through the crowd. You felt it on TV. I felt it like watching on TV. 3,000 whatever miles away. Like, you can just feel everything be like, what? Another one? 2-0 to the Canes? What? Like, and that second goal, you're looking at it, you're like, man, I know there was some misdirection by Sebastian Aho, but that's one you expect, Jacob Markstrom to snag.
Wow.
And he didn't.
Wow.
So
let's
just
say that hat trick, the goal that was scored for the hat trick was comical.
That's another one too.
Comical.
So
and
I thought we played well until that point. And when that second goal went through, forget it. Like, it was just like, I don't know. They really just got like a kidney punch or something. Trying to just do in boxing terms over here.
It feels like they get so deflated so quickly too. And looking at, by the way, thank you to everybody that's listening and watching and contributing to the chat over here on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live, on Twitter, and on Instagram, and all of the platforms. It just looks like, Tom said we had 2 breakaways with when it was 0-0 and didn't score, and that happens quite often. I forget which game it was recently where we had like multiple opportunities. Brat had like the cleanest breakaway I've ever seen, and nothing. You put him in like a shootout, and he could score that every day, but for whatever reason, in the heat of the moment, he can't. And it's, Jason was saying our D-men are awful at transitioning the puck. That's a personal problem too. Yeah, I mean, have we finally reached a point? Is this a coaching problem? I know you and I and Sam were kind of like talking about something today. Is this the way they fold under pressure recently? Is this a coaching problem, or is this a team soft?
There seems to be just, reading up a little bit about how things were handled in Toronto, about, maybe a stronger voice in the locker room from the coach. I don't know. I need to research more before I really have some official opinions on this matter. But it's something that has been brought to my attention rather recently. So I'm going to go back and read me some Toronto. I'm sure there won't be anything crazy in there. Some Toronto Maple Leafs message boards there. Because I just have heard some things about...
very rational. Rational.
Yeah, I know, right? I've just heard some things about Sheldon Keefe's style. About letting, the players, kind of handle some stuff.
Run the show.
maybe coach should. I don't know. It's debate. It's
Maybe.
they listen. There's different styles, whatever. I wasn't really all that much, up on that, but I'm learning more and more. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm gonna say
No. You know what? And not to sway over to football again, but being the fact that the three of us are Giants fans, the fact that the Giants just got John Harbaugh, that's the kind of coach I would like to see in this locker room. Somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Somebody that's going to make you go into practice and practice hard. Somebody that's going to, if you mess up, is going to take you and put you on the bench and make you sit for the rest of the game. I know we hated that, there are some coaches that came through this team that have been like, oh, well, so-and-so hasn't touched the ice and they're a young kid and blah, 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 because they had one stupid mistake and you can't do that. You can't also, and this is all speculation, right? Like, because we don't 100% know that this is the way he's running the locker room, where the players have, all the say and more of a voice than the coach does, or maybe that they're able to tune him out because they, they're kind of like, we'll figure it out, and they haven't figured it out. I don't know, like what you're alluding to is as them being the ones in charge over him. But if that's the case, it's clearly not working. This team is flawed and fractured. And there's a lot that needs to be done.
I agree. But I'm not in the locker room. So like I said, I want to do some more research on this, and just have some more little substance to some of these, questions, or maybe some thoughts on some of the questions that are popping up in my head right now about this. But you did mention something, and yes, it has been something we've been talking about.
No, Ted. Go ahead.
The coaching, but something else. I know I sent you guys in our little group chat, and it's something that I know we spit out many, many, many months ago, when he was struggling. And then kind of got a little bit more fixated on Ryan O'Reilly's play for what this team needs. However,
Mr.
Stamkos, might be available out of Nashville. Now, you may say, he's having a down year. Guess what? If he got traded to the Devils, he would immediately be the top point getter, the top goal scorer.
Which is so sad. How many times has that happened in this team's history, too? They go and get Timo Meier. When Timo Meier came to the team, he automatically jumped to the lead of goals on the team.
Yeah.
Ilya Kovalchuk. I know these are big-time scorers, but, this team just doesn't – it's like you put on a Devils jersey and you're like, I don't know how to score. I don't know what I'm doing.
And so, now this is a person who's obviously championship caliber, has been the captain on winning teams, has gone through the build, and has the credentials, the talent. He's still putting up the numbers. I sent you that earlier today. Over the last decade, there's only 2 seasons that he played injured in.
2 seasons he injured in the COVID shortened season. But wait, before we transition to this, because
the COVID,
I understand, but this is a great conversation. But I feel Sam wants to chime in on this coach situation real quick. So before we completely divert into the Stamkos, because I have some questions for you that I was starting to ask in the group chat that I would love to hash out here. But Sam, jump back on, bud. We saw you pop on. We shifted gears for a minute.
Yeah, I think why don't we just continue instead of slamming the brakes on all our momentum over here.
Well, all right, but this might take us to the end of the show. I'm just saying, I have a lot to ask. There's a lot of questions that I have for you in regards of Mr. Steven Stamkos. All right.
Well, here's the thing. We've threw this out there, months ago. Like we said, obviously we feel like Ryan O'Reilly might be better for this team overall, but Steven Stamkos would still be good for this team. Also, I feel part of this deal, would be unloading Dougie Hamilton. So if he, agrees to that, let's just say, you're gonna load Dougie.
Okay.
You're gonna have to give up probably either Casey or Nemec. So you got to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord knows Trotz will
now.
probably
Want Nemec.
get
He
Dawson.
wants the Nemec.
Well, it's one or the other, basically.
Well, I mean, if you're going to pick one or the other, more than likely whoever you're dealing with is going to want the guy that's been in the NHL who's been doing relatively decent this year in regards to points and in regards to showing potential. There's a report that Keefe was saying that Nemec doesn't like to show up sometimes, or alluding to that at least. So, which is a great job by the coach. Like, way to just take one of our top prospects or top trading chips and just completely devalue it, to the media, albeit like all three people there. But I mean, if I were to have to pick, you would want to pick Casey because you see the potential with Nemec, and if Hamilton's out, Nemec would rightfully go into that spot, right? So that would be my initial thought. My questions to you, and what I wanted to kind of like hash out with you is like, so the Steven Stamkos idea is great, but this team, and this is something that I think Jay Snow maybe said before, is like, why are we want to be buyers right now? Right, we're in a weird position, right? You don't want to give up on the season because realistically, you're only like 5 points out of a playoff spot, only 6 points out of a playoff spot, something around there. The second half of the season is, we've seen teams bounce back, like St. Louis Blues, who were in last place, who made it all the way and won Stanley Cup. I know that's very rare, but things like that do happen. The team is almost at full health. I would say Jack is still not 100%, but at least the rest of the team seems like it's almost at full health. Are you really in the mindset of wanting to make a major move now? And I'm just asking, I'm not saying how I feel either way yet, but I'm going to say, do you feel that this team should make this trade? Do you feel that this team is ready to make a move? Yeah, you're going to add scoring with Stamkos. And in that article you sent, it was Stamkos and Barron, I think, were the two names that were mentioned, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so if you're giving up Nemec, you're giving up Hamilton. Hamilton's basically like the cap hit that you're trying to get away from, and then you're giving up whatever that third piece was in that trade. At what point are you looking at this? Like, does this really make sense right now? Is what I'm trying to get to. Like, would you actually do what you're talking about? Would you pull the trigger if Nashville told you right now, yeah, we'll do that? Would you do it?
Would you rather have Dougie Hamilton on your team for these next 3 years or Steven Stamkos?
I would obviously.
Where do you need more help?
You need more help scoring, but defensively, we're not looking great either. So.
Okay. Well, is Dougie Hamilton giving you anything defensively?
No, not really.
Okay.
So I assume
you can plug in someone
that you're saying yes. You're saying yes that you would take this trade with your. Would you do that?
Well, I'm pointing out the way I'm thinking is, Stamkos is $8 million a year, Dougie is $9 million. Okay, it's really a wash. However, Stamkos is going to immediately provide you scoring. The dude is highly consistent, which the Devils are not. I sent you that rundown. Let me pull that little screenshot up again that I sent you. Because, what was it? Over the last decade, okay, the only time Stamkos was the COVID, he had 38 games, and then in 16-17, I don't remember what happened, but he only played 17 games.
Mm-hmm.
The COVID year and that 16-17, when he only played 17 games, are the only 2 years in the last decade where he has not scored at least 20 goals.
Okay.
So let's just look at this really quick, okay? 15-16, 77 games played, 36 goals, 28 points, 28 assists. 16-17, 17, 9, 11. Still had 20 points in 17 games. 17-18, 78 games, 27. Next year, 82, 45. 19-20, 57, still had 29. So he only played about 60 games. He's led almost 30 goals. Then the COVID year, 38 games played, 17-17. Next year, 81, 42 goals. Next year, 81, 34 goals. Next year, 79, 40 goals. Last year, 82 games played, 27. This year, 48, he's got 21. Those type of numbers is exactly what this team needs. And this is a person who can play, up with Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt. Who's there now? Andre Palat. That's not going
and
too
this
well.
is what.
I'm not being smart about you. I'm just saying in general.
No, I get it.
That plan is not going so well.
Yeah.
So this gives you goals. It gives you production, what the Devils desperately need. It also gives you leadership, which this team needs. Someone who has been through it and probably can provide some really good guidance to Nico and to Jack Hughes. You're talking about a superstar, team leader here. So I don't know. I think now, listen, there's other sides of it as well. You can look at, his plus minus and everything. It hasn't been pretty. But, look at the point totals.
Mm-hmm.
In the last, 5 years? He's got 33 this year, 53 last year, 81, 84, 106. Then 34 in the COVID year. I don't know. If you put Stamkos for 82 games with well, we know I don't know about Jack, but at least Jesper Bratt for 82 games, maybe there might be some stuff that can really happen there. Then also you get out from Dougie's contract. You have a bit of a logjam there on defense. And you have a very well-respected guy in the locker room who you've already gone to and said, hey, why don't you waive your no trade so we can bring in Jack and Luke's brother? That's not an awkward position to be in. Hey, why don't you go bury yourself out in Vancouver where no one wants to go so we can bring in Quinn? Oh, what do you mean you don't want to do it? What?
Oh, well, my God. You don't want to go to an even worse situation than here? Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Now, I'm sure Dougie might be rethinking that Sharks trade that he nixed over the summer with how Celebrini and Smith and everyone are looking right now. But
oh my God,
I mean, that's such
from what I understand, that door isn't totally closed though. From
I know
from
they
some
might
of the reports
they
that I
might
was reading,
but
that San Jose and Mike Greer.
They brought Klingberg just came back, I think, right? Someone just came back off of
somebody
IR. I can't remember. I hope, dude. I would if I was Dougie. Yeah, I'd hop on that. Toffoli saw it.
Well, you know what though? Yeah.
So that's my thinking. That's my thinking in that situation. Yeah, you're probably going to have to trade a, like I said, a Casey or a Nemish to, offset the Dougie Hamilton-ness of it because Dougie's not the player he was.
Okay.
And neither is Stamkos, but I think Stamkos is performing a lot better. That's exactly what this team needs. Ever since Toffoli got traded. We haven't had that guy who just 30 every year going to put him in,
No, and so I'm not disagreeing with you with the Stamkos situation. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with your thought process about it, and like bringing somebody in who's a proven goal scorer, who playing with Jack and Jesper on a line would be, could reignite him offensively to a point where he goes back into scoring, mid 30s, low 40s. I know somebody's going to, you guys are you got idiots and blah, blah, blah. But
I'm just talking, these are, I'm not saying we should do it one way or the other. I'm just presenting you with the case.
No, and
That's all.
Yeah, heard your case. I hear it. And it's validated. And I'm not saying like you're wrong. I'm not disagreeing with the case. I'm just saying, does it make sense to make a move? And there's so many factors that go into this. And hear me out on this, okay?
I think what the confusing part is, this is not being a buyer. This is being a seller. We're getting rid of Dougie. That's the issue. That whole situation is not a good situation for that locker room.
No, not
Tom Fitzgerald literally went to him and was like, "Yo, you need to waive your no trade clause so we could bring in their brother." That's bad.
And this is what I talked about.
First off, you think Quinn
ago.
would be like, do you know how weird that would have been? Like if that happened and then Quinn and the weird guy that just like knocked the the veteran, that's such a weird situation. They need to either get him. Now, listen, Dougie, I know he's from Toronto, so I'm sure he would take a ticket back to Toronto as well. And there's some rumored deals, with the Maple Leafs that may go down. This Stamkos I just found most interesting. You can sub Ryan O'Reilly, but O'Reilly has said, on record, he has no, inclination to accept any sort of trade or anything right now. So it seems like he is staying put in Nashville because he's got
he loves
the clause as well.
He loves country music, scootin' bootin'.
Stamkos, he may say the same thing. You never know. But I think in this situation, they need to clean up this mess. Because you got
Sam.
a veteran who is very well respected get derespected by the management, put him in an awkward situation. And now you got a rookie as well who apparently still needs to, learn his spot. It could be a language barrier thing or something like that. I'm not sure. But, I think Nemec he's ready to play. Like he should be out there every night. So
he wants to win. He wants to play. I think he had like a quote.
I don't think he's going to get anything out of the AHL at this point, though. Like he needs to be in the NHL.
Yes.
So at that point, there's no point to send him. There's no point to send him back down. The problem is exactly.
And here's the root
problem
of
is you got $9 million. You got $9 million.
Well, the problem is you have a GM who basically screwed himself. You have a GM who painted himself into a corner, who has basically no way out. He's at the mercy of the player, so he has he has little to no leverage when it comes to a trade when he's talking with Dougie Hamilton or Andre Palat or any of these guys that we want to move. And here's the absolute mind-numbing, frustrating part about being a fan of this team. And like everybody that watches this team and all these, all the people that are commenting and all this stuff that's going on, it's like you watch the situation and you're like, they have the talent. They have the talent to win. We've seen this team be successful. We've seen this team get to a point where it's like, yeah, we could do this. And then we run into the Carolina Hurricanes in the playoffs and we lose. We go to the playoffs last year. We were an undermanned team. And we weren't ready for the situation because there was no way in hell anybody thought we were winning that round. Zero. The year we beat the Rangers, the Devils beat the Rangers. We're on a high. We get into that series with the Carolina Hurricanes, and they have our number. That's it.
We got a reality check.
One speed bump. We got a reality check, yeah. But that's the one big speed bump that we have to get over. But the problem is there is not a goddamn thing that we can do right now. You can't do anything because you got a GM, and the only thing that he's done in months is he comes out and he has this press conference. For what? For absolutely nothing. To show people that he's live and still incompetent. For a while, his team was like, you know what? Everything seemed to be okay. We could talk about these trades or these rumors until we're blue in the face, but it's pointless because you got a guy who, like, it seems like every time there's an opportunity to make a solid or positive move, there's nothing that happens. There's no void. You lose 9-0 to the Islanders. He should have came out the day after that game happened. He should have walked up to the podium and gone this whole like, I take accountability. Give me a break. Give me a break with this. You take accountability in what way? Then fix it. Then if you think this team is flawed and broken, then fix it. And you seem like you can't, because last year at the end of the season we had this whole like, the bottom six, that's the problem. They can't score, they can't contribute. So you know what? We're gonna go out, we're gonna clean house in the bottom six, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna bring in like Glenn Denning, and we're gonna bring in this guy and that guy. And guess what, guys? You know, we got this Gritzy kid who's gonna come over from the KHL, he's gonna light it up. When? The team is one of the most frustrating teams to watch. And don't give me that, like, and if we even get into the lottery conversation of like, we can get McKenna, like, who gives a damn? Because the first overall pick has done us great. How many times? Well, Sam Wu would be excited. How many times has a first overall pick done us a great, we got Jack, we got Nico, great.
I think the Bears might have just threw like a crazy touchdown.
Oh, good. There's that.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yes, we've, I feel like we've been talking about the ineptitude of Mr. Fitzgerald there for forever now. It seems like these last, he should have came out a lot earlier. He should have said a lot more stuff. The team needed a leader, and they didn't have it, and they should have. And it sucked. And he didn't sign all of these contracts, but he definitely gave out. I mean, he knew what he was working with, and he cornered himself. But this team they have to do Dougie right. Dougie,
Dougie did a lot for this franchise.
By all reports, Dougie is a New Jersey guy now. Like, he lives there year round. Like, he loves the place.
Look at all the things he does in the offseason, all the dumb commercials he does for the team, all the the PR stuff that he does for the team.
Out. That's where he works out, like during the summer and everything. He doesn't like go home to Toronto or something like that. Like, he literally lives right there. And to do what you did to him, I get it. He's not performing as well as he should be for $9 million. Totally get that. 100% right there with you. But, the way it played out was just bad. It's just bad management. It's sloppy. I find it disrespectful to the player. I think it sucks that it put him in that position. If I was Quinn Hughes, I wouldn't want to come into that locker room and be like, oh, yeah, I'm the guy that got Dougie Hamilton, kicked out. Oh, hey, what's up? No, the whole way it went down was just bogus. But that being said, my whole point is I don't see this deal as being a buyer. I see it as being a seller. We're getting out of that Dougie Hamilton contract, and we're getting out of that situation. That situation in the locker room now sucks. You got a $9 million guy who used his no movement clause, who you're now scratching, and he's a valued, well-respected veteran who's done a lot for the franchise.
And here's the thing: they benched him, or he was a healthy scratch.
He was scratched.
Back. He gets a couple points in the games after that. In the game,
of course, in the Hughes Bowl,
he got 2 points in that game in the Hughes Bowl.
You can't write the craziness of this team and season any better. Yes, in the Hughes Bowl, Dougie Hamilton, who denied the trade, ends up getting 2 points or 2 goals. Was it 2 goals? Or I think it was 2 primary assists. I think.
And anybody that's also calling for Markstrom to be traded, you can't. You know why? Because our genius GM signed him to a 2-year, 20-team, no movement clause, no trade clause, whatever.
This year is
them out like they're goddamn Skittles on
Halloween. This is a perfect example. This contract that he's on right now is the one from Calgary, but you brought him in from that contract. You knew what was there. And then, next year when he goes on the one that Tom Fitzgerald signed him, he has a 20-team no trade clause for next year. And then the following year, it drops to 5. So essentially, Markstrom is not going anywhere. That's why everyone's like, why don't you just, waive him or something? You can't. Like he's got it.
can't.
If you have a no movement clause,
And there's
he cannot be
ramifications if you
waived.
do that. That's the problem too. Like
Well, you
everybody
can't
that's
do
like
it because
just buy him out.
the player
buy
has
him
to
out.
agree to it. You'll have the
Yes, exactly.
NHLPA like
That's
up your ass in a
that's
second.
a great point too. Well, everybody that and there's people that are like, oh,
It's part of the contract.
Just
You have to agree to
wave
it.
Palat. You can't just do it. Like, listen,
can't.
that moron
You
across
can't
the
do it for
river was
Markstrom
able to do
either.
that with Trouba. Yeah, no, he did it with Trouba and he did it with Goudreau across the river because like those guys didn't have it in their clause where they couldn't be waived. Like he found that loophole. And was like, yeah, you're waived.
They had
blah, blah, blah.
the team list that they were denying. Yeah, that's
But
how they
it's
were
like
refusing their trade.
And the problem that Fitzgerald has put himself in is not only do you have zero leverage with the team or with the player, you now also have zero leverage with anybody you're trying to trade with. Because if I have
because
a
everyone knows
10-team trade list, and it's like, oh, well, I don't need to – you're just trying to give me your guy because you need to get out from under this. Well, you know what? I don't need to do you a favor, and you can hold on to that. So there's going to be – even if he makes a trade, I can only imagine there's going to be some kind of salary retention, right? It's the only – logically, the only way you can get out from under this.
That's how you can get it done, yeah, by sending – you're going to have to see now – I would assume Dawson Mercer is going to be on the way out. And then, like I said, a prospect as well. But I think, we would get a lower, bottom six type of player back who's a little bit cheaper. And then, you offset the Dougie and the Dawson Mercer. There'll be a little bit of a cat. I mean, that's a way to get it done. Is it going to happen? I don't know. It's just, it was just something that I read there online. It seemed like an interesting trade proposal that was actually kind of, if both teams are into the idea.
It makes sense. If both teams are into it, it makes sense. But I even think your idea of Toronto makes more sense to be able to move Dougie because that would be the one team he might be like, yeah.
Well, Nashville's a pretty hot destination town. I mean, like Nashville's a lot of fun. People really like Nashville. Like I see a lot of people there just raving about, the life and this, the culture and everything down there in that center of town, especially if you're coming up from Canada where it's just snow all the time. And you got the honky tonks everywhere going down Broadway and everything. It's a whole new experience. So it's definitely a fun town. It's not like overly majorly city. So, it's still a good place to raise a family and all that sort of stuff. So I see a lot of hockey players wouldn't mind going down to Nashville. So I see that. But also, yes, Toronto, that's where Dougie's from. I'm sure he would go back to the Leafs. That one would take a little bit more creative work because the Leafs have those monster contracts as well. Could that something that would be yes, that it is something that could be worked out. And I'm pretty sure that Dougie would be totally cool, with that.
You could assume. And then, like Ted,
it's his hometown. Why would he want to go play for the Leafs?
I don't know. Who knows? But Tom, because there's way more pressure to play for the Leafs than there is for this team that nobody actually cares about.
Really?
Tom says
because I don't know if you've read the NHL headlines lately.
So Tom said, why? Oh my God! Now everything's moving so quickly. Bench Luke, bench Markey, and bench Palat. They did bench Palat, and then he came back and he scored 2 goals, and he doubled his goal output for the year. And then he was like, "I'm good, boys. I'm good for another 5 months."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's hard because like people will look at that they'll be like, "Well, Palat really didn't pan out." Palat and Dougie serve an important role on this team for a couple different reasons because they're veterans. Palat has won. They were also the 2 rather big names in their free agency class that when they came here, it was a huge deal. When the Devils got Dougie Hamilton, no, nope, you cannot disparage that.
Yes, Palat, no.
Palat was during that. Palat was like the third or fourth choice. Was that was the Goudreau year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, Palat was
shit.
the
Johnny Hockey went to Columbus. We need to sign someone fast. That's what it was. Come on.
Yeah, well, Either way.
We thought we had that wrapped up, and then all of a sudden we didn't.
And then Columbus
And
is
that
like, hey, by
was-
the way.
That was the knee-jerk reaction. $6 million for Andre Palat.
Oh,
Let's
imagine
pay
if we
you
would've
for
just
everything you did
not-
for Tampa Bay.
Imagine if they didn't do that. Imagine if they didn't. Because what has he contributed this entire time?
It hasn't been pretty.
Like, what has he? What he's like the guy that you work with. They're like, oh, there's Frank, just checking in now, 15 minutes late. Oh, he's taking a 3-hour lunch break. Thanks, Frank. But when it's time to get paid, Frank's first in line. It sucks, dude. Like, there's no way to. There's major change needs to happen. Whether that's
I agree.
I don't need and like I don't want the I don't know if I'm a totally like get rid of Keefe kind of guy, or if I'm definitely at this point like Fitzgerald's got to go. Fitzgerald has to go. I was the biggest like Fitzgerald apologist for the longest time, where I'm like, oh, he got this deal, he's got this guy under this contract. I'm like, well, he's doing things, and we were all there. Because we're always like, oh, Fitzgerald, he fleeced him in the beginning, right? And a lot of the trades he made, we were, oh, yeah.
We thought. So until further analysis revealed.
Further analysis revealed that he's like, yeah, come to the team. Here's a contract. Don't worry, you'll go nowhere. Yeah, I can't move you anywhere.
It's a homicide! They're killing
Yeah.
Devil Fans! Ah!
It's terrible.
The crime reports
It's
are
terrible.
back, and the lab reports are in.
It's horrible.
The DNA says it's Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald in the rock with a hockey stick.
With a hockey stick.
He killed my fandom. It sucks, man. It just I hate getting like we said this last week.
I think you gotta
hate getting on here and having to do this with like the bitching and moaning about it, but come on.
So I think now you just gotta take it one game at a time, and it is what it is. You know, like throw all your expectations aside and just have some fun with it. I mean, that's really all you can do at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, the team has gone through hell and back already in this season. The injuries, this Dougie madness, like this has been a total nightmare.
Jack getting skewered by a champagne glass.
Champagne glass, Kovacevic, getting hurt last year and being out so long this year. Pesci.
Kovacevic
Nason
came back
basically playing hurt the whole time. Like,
Kovacevic comes back,
Timo
gets an assist in that first game. Timo, he's hot. He's not. He's hot. Well, March is right around the corner.
Luke Hughes didn't start the season on time. He missed the entire. There's just been so much. Just take it for what it comes with this team. Like
After
this
this
season,
Olympic break, the team's going to come back.
I don't even want. I hope they cancel the hockey Olympics. Cancel it.
Hi, Sam.
What's up?
It's a joke.
What's up?
Nothing. My camera wasn't working before.
Stanley, wait.
Well,
hold
we're
on,
back
I
to
gotta
do
answer this
some.
question.
Go
Stanley
ahead.
said, "Do people really believe the champagne glass BS?" Stanley, you can write this in the chat. What do you think happened, Stanley? Do I believe it? No, I don't know what I believe. I don't know why he cut his hand the way he cut his hand. I always think he put his hand on the table and was doing that stupid steak knife thing, and then like whoom, and put his knife right through his hand. That's my opinion. But go ahead, Stanley. I want to hear what you have to say about that one.
Yeah, I mean, Stanley, that's why usually in restaurants they're always so quick to clean up spills, because the floors can get a little slippery the way they are.
And Trigoria, we know this. By the way, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off too. Trigoria, yes, we know that these trade talks are because of all the no movement clauses and all that stuff. We know. Don't do the single camera. I hate when you do that. We understand that it's pointless. Go on, Scotty.
Well, it's
Sorry, no.
it's not completely pointless, but either way, the floors a lot of times can get very slippery. They do that because there's a lot of food and a lot of things drop on them naturally because it is a restaurant. Hence, if you're around a bunch of dudes at a restaurant, yes, there is a good chance that you may have spilled something, especially if people are having adult beverages. You can slip and fall. It has happened plenty of times before. Slip and fall accidents. They have a whole thing about it for lawyers and everything. So it just sucks that it happened to Jack Hughes. Again, just,
You
the
want my
blank
opinion?
show. I won't say anything else. The blank show that has been this season. I mean, so each game, just take it for what it is. Each game, I'm trying to have no expectations whatsoever going in. And you know what? It's been more enjoyable. I'll say that. Just lowered expectations.
Dude, it's the expectations. There are no expectations anymore. You don't even have to lower them because we have an incompetent GM he's gonna sit on his hands and do absolutely jack. We have a team that underperforms. We have a coach who doesn't seem to know how to get a motivated team to go out on the ice. You go down by 1 goal or 2 goals. There's no fight. It's like it's goddamn depressing. Sometimes you turn on the game, and it's like, oh, down 2-0 already. Might as well shut this one off.
Well, I like seeing some
it's
of the physicality that Kovacevic was bringing back, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, yeah, 100%. We've said this a million times. They got to get tougher. They brought in McEwen, and he's out for the season now with a knee injury. So Brendan Dillon's had some good hits lately, and there's been some other little physical stuff. But yeah, this team in general, I think, needs. Timo Meyer has been good with the physical play, but other than that, yeah, this team needs to get a little bit more tougher. We always say that. But Sam, where are you at? I thought we were doing our final thoughts here.
I wasn't sure.
There he is.
I wasn't sure.
There we go. Well, we're wrapping up over here as the Devils are heading out for a road trip, a Western Conference road trip. Late night for you East Coasters, regular time for me. Sam Woo's favorite, the 1 a.m. Devils After Dark broadcast coming your way all this week. But that just means we'll see how long that product Sam Woo has in his hair for his slickster hair over there. We'll see how long that product lasts for. If it makes it all the way to 1 a.m. and Sam is still Mr. Slick Shot Wall Street man.
Truth be told, I don't use product.
Gordon Gecko.
Oh, yeah. Oh, your hair just naturally goes like that?
Yeah. I'm actually allergic to
okay.
product. So I don't put product
You're
on.
allergic to
I'm actually allergic to it.
No. I can't have any product. No product, please. No product, okay?
No, it's actually true.
Dude, listen, Scotty, don't be hair envious because we don't have any. So
Well-
this guy's he's got all the hair on the podcast. That's it.
Yeah. So, my final thoughts for this, season. Just use this trip as a little bit of a refresher. What else can you do at this point? It's been crazy. It's been nightmarish. It's been drama-filled. See if you guys can maybe bond a little bit on the Western Canada trip. We've done well in years past. Who knows? Maybe you could put together a winning streak. Maybe at least get some good feeling. Don't even know about the wild card, whatever. Just get some good feeling around the team again. Play together. Play a complete game. And if you lose, you lose. Just play a complete game, though. And let's see how we go now that everyone's actually getting healthy. And we'll see if there's a big trade on the horizon. Don't be surprised.
Okay. My final thought is it's that meme of the guy standing there with a stick and is just poking like the little Devil's logo on the bottom. It just says, like, just do something. That's where I'm at. Do something. You know, and that's the hardest part as being a fan is we have no control over what's happening on the ice, the front office, nothing. The only thing that we can control is the fact that we'll still root for this team no matter what. We've been there before. We've been there in the bottom. We've been there in the top. But patience is running thin. I feel like patience in this fan base is running thin. My patience is running extremely thin with this team. They got to do something. They got to fix something. They got to make some kind of move that's going to shake it up. If they don't, it shows you three things. The owners don't care. The team doesn't care. The GM doesn't care. And if that's the case, might as well pack it up, boys. Go looking at draft lottery numbers. Because that's where we'll end up. Anyways, that's it.
My final thoughts, people have asked me many times at American Whiskey or offline, you know, should they change the GM? Should they change the coach? I think that changing the GM will change the coach anyway. You kill two birds with one stone. And I don't think it's going to happen till the end of the season. So right now, Fitzgerald's on the hot seat to the end of the season. And I have zero confidence that he can turn this thing around, to be honest with you.
None.
I have zero confidence. But I also don't 100% blame Fitzgerald. From day one since this podcast started, I've been blaming the ownership group. That's where it starts from. And that's my final thought.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be back again tomorrow night doing a little game day live action. Doing a little Devils After Dark, little morning woo, little hockey on tap for you. We got a full slate of podcast action for you tomorrow here at the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, everybody. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X. I'll turn it over to Sam for the final goodbyes.
Yep, we're going to have the morning woo. Tomorrow it's going to be a triple header Monday and Tuesday with the morning woo, Game Day Live, and Devils After Dark. We're still trying to figure out Game Day Live staffing. I'm still waiting to hear back from somebody. We'll talk off there. Anyway, dropping the podcast in about 10 minutes. Till next time, let's go Devils.